question is this, and I'm going to go to Dr. Sergio and anybody else who wants to respond, and certainly Dr. Vonderwater, you can respond to what they say, but Dr. Sergio and Dr. Mulligan, I think this applies to you too, the arbitrary levels of 50 in terms of its employment on your, its impact on your decisions on employment. You mentioned you have two businesses. Now, they're separate businesses. I've talked to a lot of businesses, basically said, I've had to create separate businesses because it's so punitive to get over the 50 mark. The other factor here is the 30-hour work week. And it is no secret that in entry-level jobs in particular, chains all across the country are simply moving to part-time workers rather than full-time workers. I had that own personal experience in my family with children and even some grandchildren now that, you know, say, yeah, you have a job here, but you can't work more than 30 hours because we just can't afford to do it. Our margins are too slim, and you mentioned profits. We can't afford that. Anyway, Dr. Sergio, if you want to respond to that, and anybody else, I'll let this be my one question here, and then move on to my colleagues.
Well, I know for a fact that small businesses create about 90% of the jobs out there, and I've been involved in small business since I was 17. We started our own company. My brother and I, we built swimming pools. We paid for our education at Notre Dame, went on to get my education. Another brother took that business and built it. Everybody in my family has been a small business person. My grandparents that came from Italy, my brothers and sisters. And so I've been involved with that. I was a consultant with small businesses for a year, and I've worked with them my entire life. There's a disconnect here between, you know, corporate and whatever the statistics are, because none of those match with any of the experience that I have. I have never in my life experienced so much anger and frustration. As I was preparing to come here, I was sort of doing a survey of people as I'm talking to them all the way through on the airplane coming here. And I didn't give away my position or say where I was coming from. As soon as you mentioned this whole Obamacare, people start telling you war stories. And if you could let them talk for 5 minutes, they get very, very angry, give you specific examples of their health care costs going up and of the various problems. I had a college student that I had talked to, and he was bemoaning the fact that he's trying to make some money to pay for school, and his employer won't give him any more than 29 hours a week. And what I have seen is that because of the uncertainty with the costs associated with this and with all of the changes that keep coming as they continue to interpret what everything means, even the professionals that we've worked with come back and are changing. It's very hard for us as business people to predict our costs and to look at the impact on our business, so that now, instead of seeing an opportunity, going after that opportunity, creating jobs, knowing that we can do something very positive, you know, we've got to pull back and really look at it and say, is it worth it doing this? Because if we bring in more employees, it's going to push us over a threshold. So that is a big concern to us.